It's my pleasure to introduce you to our Department of Urban Studies and Planning. Like all departments at MIT, it literally is at the top of its field, but it also is very unique in many dimensions. And we think the best way to display this uniqueness is to really introduce you to the students who study and work here, and let you see a little bit about what they do here at MIT, across our country, and around the world.
Our sponsor, in this case, the District of Columbia, said to us, "I've got a problem, could you help me?"
Our objective was to make sure that there would be several clusters of retail activity and some room for pedestrians.
The challenge was how to create the highest possible densities of housing while also creating a place that people would want to live.
We were asked to develop and assess small business needs for the city of Lawrence, in particular in the Latino community.
Good planning is measured by the rigor with which you attend to what the community is calling for, and by the imagination that you bring to invent solutions.
I really encourage my students to think about different alternatives that can be brought to bear on a problem.
Planning is a social effort to shape our destiny, where we are going.
30 years I was in the business. I ended up working in a great number of towns and cities. And the planner was the first person, I got to know.
We have 25 million visitors coming to the nation's capital every year.
We began by going to the city, meeting with local developers, community members, trying to get an understanding of the area, how it works.
What the city has asked us to look at is how the edges and the undeveloped land might be used in a fresh way. This piece of Washington.
DC never lacks plans. The only thing that DC needs is how to make it happen.
We engage in a kind of messy optimism. We believe that the future can be made better if we plan for it, but we need to have a kind of grounded idealism that's workable.
It is a matter of doing good by trying to help people, and you help all of these communities all over the world.
The river in the Barcelona project was seen as something that was there, something that helped in the past, but didn't really have a role in the future, because industry now doesn't rely necessarily on the energy from a river.
How do we create urban design that will revitalize and transform the river, attract private investment, bring new public investments? What should the design of these things be?
There has to be a mutual trust and a mutual respect from the perspective of the community and the people affected by whatever you're building.
Is this the whole downtown site right here?
Yeah, but this is the site we're dealing with.
MIT and Patterson Public Schools has a joint academy. It's the Metro Patterson Academy for Communications and Technology. It's a school of architecture, design, and planning, and the students actually work on real projects in the city.
Because we're gonna need more room than that, so we can't.
Good planners get very involved in the community, and they get involved with the business people and the banks and bring it all together, and that's good for everybody.
Lawrence represents a typical small community that had a manufacturing base that is no longer there. The community agencies there have tried to figure out ways to spur economic activity.
Lawrence actually reminds me of where I grew up. A lot of my friends' families were employed by a major employer in town, and they were slowly losing their job as the company relocated. But it was just a really vibrant community.
The planner's role is to really find out what the businesses are interested in and how to connect that interest to some larger economic force.
Our motto is Minds&Hands, Mind and Hands. The idea that you pursue knowledge, you pursue analysis, you teach in ways that are designed to solve problems.
I was doing well in the community development field and really felt like I wanted to enhance a lot of my skills, and I absolutely want to keep doing what I was doing.
A lot of people who go into that work who came from backgrounds where there was not a lot of money, but there were elements in their growing up experience that made them say, well, you know, this is an opportunity to make a real contribution.
This group from MIT has been working with us at the Lawrence Planning and Neighborhood Development Corporation, which, as most of you know, is a nonprofit.
If we're going to get the best possible candidates to serve in the capacity of planning and executing the dreams of a community, you've got to give them some real help in terms of fellowships, scholarships, so they don't incur all of this debt.
We are very grateful for the support of Hank Spaulding and the many, many other graduates and friends of the Department of Urban Studies and Planning. Hank is our leader and is fortunate to be able to do more than many of us can do, but everybody gives within their means, and we're very grateful for the support of everyone.